I'll give you the usual presentation on tariffs. Normally I come here every December month to tell you about our expectations for the coming tariffs for the coming gas year. This situation this year is a little bit different than what we normally are used to due to the changes Jeppe was telling you about, due to the methodology change which we had user group on this, I think it was in October, and we had a public hearing which most of you participated in. I'll come back to that a little bit later, but it's safe to say that nothing is except a little bit in this presentation will be certain. So that's just one of the disclaimers on this one. I'll start with telling you about the Tariff Network code process and where we are in that. Unfortunately, as most of you probably know, it has been delayed. Then I will tell you about our tariff methodology process and where we are with that. And then I'll give you the usual sneak peek on the tariffs for 2016 and 17. This I've been showing you quite a lot of times. The only difference is that it keeps moving to later dates, and now you can see that the first comitology meeting is expected late April, second in June. I won't go through it, just take it easy. It's just to say that we are late in the process. And now the expected implementation will be 1st of October 2018. Earlier it was 17, which led us to have the internal plan in Energinet.dk that we will be doing the big revision of our tariff methodology in the coming year. That might not be the plan after this. So in the current situation, we are discussing where to sit in the bus, if we will go for the 1st of October 2017, or just to be with the overall plan and go for the 1st of October 2018. More to come on that one. I can tell you that we will do an assessment of the tariff regime in Denmark, and Jeppe will come back to some of the points we will assess on this in his presentation later this afternoon. I'll not go through all these points, but it's just to show you that this will not entirely die out through the next year. It's of course something we will keep in touch on, and you will be called for user groups and stuff like that. But maybe we will not go for doing the whole thing by the 1st of October 2017. Yes. Yes, it's completely random. Nothing to take into that, it's just top of mind, so you could get an idea what we are aiming on looking at. So, as I mentioned, nothing is certain, but debt and taxes. It's to say that the thing I'll show you now is not approved by our board. It's not approved by DERA, the method that is. Normally when I show you this, I will be at the point in calculating tariff where I have actually sent the proposed tariff to the board, so I'll be way further in the process that I am now, and I will also have the tariff methodology approved by DERA. I don't have that this year, which I will come back to. So this is just to show you, because we showed you the tariffs in September. We'll show you what we believe in now, based on what Jeppe told you earlier with the nomination changes in Elon. So with that being said, in October, the user group, we talked about the tariff methodology. We talked about the distribution of the capex of the compressor station in Ellon and what we will do in the revised methodology for the coming gas year. At that point, I showed you some figures who divided the capex from the compressor station into these 3 gray boxes like this. But at that point, I didn't have the pipeline, which is the green, divided into 1/3 and put on the emergency tariff. So this is the overall changes in the methodology from which I showed you in October this year, and which we had proposed to DERA in October, or late October that is, I think. Then we were in a dialogue with DERA. They had challenged some of our points on a more formal criteria, and we have gone back to our desktops and looked at it one more time, and now we are in the process of making another proposal which is shown here, and which will be the thing that will come into public hearing in the first week of January. So that's not a Christmas present, but almost. So we expect to be sent out before Christmas. So if you don't know what to do between Christmas and New Year, you'll probably have some interesting reading to do. We very much welcome you to participate in this public hearing again. We know that you already did it once in October, but it's important for us to hear your viewpoints on this. I won't go through the details on why we are doing it. It's just to let you know what has been changed since the last time we talked about the methodology. Yes, this is our cost base from.
Nina, can I just
yeah.
So to make it clear, the methodology that was sent in public consultation in I think October this year that you answered to, we have sent that or submitted that to DERA. It has been challenged by DERA mainly because it doesn't live up to some of the formal criteria that was in the original approval from DERA in 2013. Therefore, we have to do a revision. It will not be a huge change in the numbers, but there will be some change in the numbers. And we want you to look into the methodology once more, and that's why we call for a public consultation in the beginning of next year. So in a way, that's a Christmas present as well. You get the chance to think about tariffs also in your Christmas holiday.
What's not to like about that? This is the cost base for 2017 on which we base the tariff for 16 and 17. It's safe to say that this is the only thing I'll show you today that is certain. This will not be changed, but it's of course, as I mentioned, the only thing. In relation to that, I can tell you that since we are in the process of calculating, we will always take into account our newest financial reports, and that means that a big input in the calculation, which is the over recoveries, is not certain yet. So I don't know how much you can use this, but that's just to say where we are at this point. Another input to the calculation are, of course, the expected capacity bookings and volumes. I have not taken them with me today. It's not because we don't want to show you, it's simply because they are very uncertain and we don't want to show you something that can be changed tomorrow. So, of course, when somebody comes back in March and talks about what we ended up doing and give you the whole presentation of what are the inputs to these tariffs for 16 and 17, they will be published to you and you can go through all our calculation as you're always welcome to do. This is just to show you that, of course, in the next slide where I'll show you the tariffs, the nomination changes and our interpretation of what the effects will be significant. So that's more or less what I wanted to say with this slide.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Nomination rules. How will they have an impact on the capacity or on the tariffs? The German nomination rules, they're going to be changed.
Yeah.
And that will have an impact on your tariffs.
Yeah.
How come?
I think we cannot go into details because I think it's very, yeah, of course. But I think what we can say is that the change in the German nomination rule will have an impact on what we expect to be the flow from exit Elon from the Danish side.
Okay.
Of course, we'll come back to that later, and we'll try to provide you as much information on this as possible. This previous slide leads to this tariff for 2016 and 17. They are, as I mentioned already quite a few times, not final yet. So this is just to give you an indication of where we are going. If I should highlight something from this, it will be that we see some difference from the previous year, where we have had substantial low tariffs for quite some years, but due to these, mainly due to the changes which I mentioned before, the nomination and therefore the volumes and capacity changes, there have been these decrease, and then of course you will also see the effect of the changes in the methodology, which leads to a more close relationship between the Elon entry tariff and the exit and dry tariff for the coming gas year. You also see that Elon entry tariff is no longer the most expensive tariff in our system. This is to do with the tariff methodology, which would be explained in the material you'll get in before Christmas. So again, I won't show you this anymore, but in March we'll come back and you'll all know the tariffs that have been used for the auction by then, because they will be published at the latest in the 7th of February, hopefully before, and then they will be used for the capacity auction in March, the first Monday of March. So, is there any questions or things you would like to know? You are, of course, always very welcome to contact me if you have any questions or something that is unclear. No?